live, right? And then it was the second life. Gotta be understandable, right? You go through life first time, and you figure that people hurt you and do bad things to you because it was already a life, and you were, I mean, a piece of shit. So they're acting like dickhead compared to just to prove a point. So the next time the exact same shit happens, but not the exact same shit. Next time, same people, stay as the aliens, and upgrades as they should. And this fucking harassment and shit, stalking, targeting. Hey, dumb bitch, give me back my 7502 and get the fuck away from me, you fucking asshole. This is encroachment. Hmm? It's weird how they said the same shit in 2006 beforehand, and then all of a sudden, the same people in 2006 popped up in the apartment complex, started doing weird shit. I'm calling the police, they're giving me the busy signal while actual crime is happening. Then we took criminology 101 in 2010 and found out about the uniform reports and what they don't want the FBI to know about because the FBI gets involved. All these people got to do is go through training and shit, right? It's up to you to get contractors. Choose the wrong person. You see the guinea pig. Hey, embargo. Hey, whores in other countries. Yeah. You guys, hey, gave you some food. You're happy now. Hey, all right, good. He did it. Oh, we hate you. You guys are all good. You know. So let's get rid of him. Now we just claim him as the parent and then say let's get rid of him. So everybody will be like, hey, we're trying to get rid of him and y'all still here. This is like being in court. You're a kid. This older person is like, we taught them about the edifice. That's what they're on. And it's like, but we don't even know what the fuck that shit is. And you think about it when you get your high school diploma, turn into a sicko. You like to manipulate people. Or somebody makes a job and says, hey, I'm paying you because he was a mercenary and he hurts himself. He's hurting because, hey, somebody just paid me and I was shooting. Just want to create some shit and make it up so we got something to do with board. And he treats the person like a guinea pig instead of telling the person the whole story and shit. use the person as a guinea pig, projects it through the person. So now this person does exactly what he does. As you know, I could be sitting here 24/7, 7 days a week, and it never sounds like this until I start recording. Those are $250. 250,000 for discrimination and shit. Been targeted for quite some time. But none of these people's own colors are peoples who actually do shit like that. It's people they respect. It's like, hey, I know you since I was a kid, but now we grown together kicking it. He's like, think you hate him right there, huh? Trying to project their lives upon him. I mean, sort of like some dude was on TV, he was talking, and I guess he was a psychic and he was reading thoughts, and then next thing you know, he's like, oh yeah, yeah, he touched some girl. And he started acting all heartfelt and sensitive. It was like listening to this talk radio and heard that shit a couple of times and shit, like who they messed with, and it was like, whoa. All this shit unfolds on talk radio or some shit, and it's like, whatever. You're always talking shit, right? And all of a sudden, they're just like, oh yeah, blah. And it's when you try to tell me something, I'm trying to, or I perceive, there you go, that's the perceive that this is an old videotape and it's recording, and hey, it just came from a funeral for this one person because he was talking into the future and the camera and said some shit and killed itself, and now everybody's figuring out why he did it. I could understand that, but it went from jeer to oops. It was like, so you like to get put on blast about some shit, you can take it. And it was me, and I was feeling the heartbroken. I was hurt. I was like, oh. Oh, then I found out about the 2006 tape. Oh, it was like, I never knew about this tape and shit. I was there, and no car passes. Somebody yells, hey, let's run. Another female says no. And then the other female who said, let's run. He's like, run and get your ass kicked, bitch. All these females just started running and shit. And I'm walking the other way, and I'm down the street by the train tracks, and these people is over here, undercover cops, claiming to be FBI and shit, conspiring on entrapping me. Then they bring some people over from other places and shit, California and shit. Man, we just touched down with some ecstasy pills, homie. These ain't no ecstasy pills. These ain't these bullshit ones. These are, oh. These motherfuckers is Miss Mexican. He's got the blue one on. These is the pink ones chopped up in pill form. These are the 30 perfect ones. These is the perky dee. They actually got real drugs out here. It's synthetic. What's that? How did this real drug get out here? Oh, well, oh, for some reason we have the right to break the law. You just normal ass citizens who are going to enforce the law. Somebody blows it out of proportion. Somebody gets there. Somebody been working hard. Then they drop that option because they notice the hell. Now your insurance is gone. You have to pay for your own insurance. Now he got your insurance. You see somebody pass away, and you see that same person hand them a $2,500 check. When the original insurance would have paid out 100 and some thou out. And then you come to find out, hey, when we did this whole little snatching from you and shit, we dropped a whole bunch of records like a statue for the ones we taught since they was infants and shit. And somebody can get all that. Got what I wanted. It's like, hey, you just need a coffee cake, huh? Boom, and some coffee. That was it. That was our agreement. Stressful being a kid, right? Verbal agreement, verbal agreement. Oh, you shit. And you have to learn about it before 16, right? You hit 16, and that verbal agreement is still sucking fine. Now your ass is in court, not understanding why. Justice is blind. Don't know, don't care. Now we got all these foreigners popping up and shit, clown justice on me and shit, ostracism, oh. And then it's like, I check the statutes, I check everything else, right? Going to the court, and it's like, particularly you, this affects particularly you. I was like, this was a name, like Bozo and shit on top of it. After that no complaint shit, there's no such person. These ain't even real cases. Ah, Blue Shield, owe you something, hey. Ain't no kid. And present day, hey, we're Parliament now. This is Canada. I was like, these must be some great ass actors and shit. Huh? They was like, hey, we're gonna go over to Arizona, we're gonna build this shit up. We're gonna pop over here and build this shit up exactly the same way. Kidnap people from Arizona, they don't even know they kidnapped because they somewhere else in another country, a doppelganger. Hey, in their original country, where the fuck is they at? I don't know. Help us, please, Lord. Then like Silent Witness and people and looking for people, then you see them exact same people walking and driving down the fucking street. As if they weren't penetrated into doing some Muslim stuff, and then the police seeing that they have their real names and birth certificate and took it and started acting like them and lived the whole 30 some odd years or 20 some odd years or whatever years as these people. And as these people are legally ready to get out the penitentiary, deaths occur, faking of deaths and shit. And all of a sudden, here comes this real person popping out the penitentiary. Been in there since a kid, don't know nothing about the world. But yet everybody got stories of kicking with old gangsta OG, big pimpin', whatever the fuck. It's like, oh, see, I was stuck in there for a long time. It was like, who? You gotta let me see. Oh, it's too late. What a coincidence. Just before you got out, the person died. What a strange coincidence. Huh? As soon as you went in, they popped up. As soon as you pop out, they just passed away. Look at that. Then any enemies they done made, right? So the doppelganger is now acting like makeup up and shit, acting like the person. So any enemies that this doppelganger made, now this innocent person just pops out, hey, I don't know no better. You just put me in here because you was trying to fill a quota. Now you have to worry about what? Oh yeah, well the streets is real now. Oh, there goes that motherfucker right there. Type of bullshit, right? It just took them with some augmentation, right? Like, man, you just ate all them greens for what? Cheekbones, put this face paint on and this. When I put, you look just like that person. Wow, I need to learn how to do this. Start walking through the neighborhood as the people you killed. Hey, how you doing? I just see that person last week. It's like we wasn't pressing charges, carrying and sending the police to their house in the first fucking place. See them last week. That's great. What is that smell, right? What is that nasty smell? Is that shit like beautiful or something? That must be a beautiful ass stink. That's weird. These people from other places got these people in to get naturalized with the stink. And when I was a kid, I found out that they were sort of beefing raps. They thought that the U.S. sent the polio vaccination over there, not another country working inside the U.S. or none of that shit. And they also, the hair care products, right? Female from there pops it over here, gets it in, gets money, does the hair care, takes it back to where she is from, and fucks up everybody's hair as if y'all did that to her when she was young. She just go get revenge. And now on the natural point, so anything stinks, it's a fungus. Get that. Natural. Sit down, make this bacteria that sticks there. Another female sits there. Bad coincidence that the bacteria has some instincts to keep growing, and then now somebody else has this bacteria. And it continues and it continues and it continues. And the only thing you do to hide it is that's a lie, that stuff. Right? Coming of age, and the females would be like, you would do that? Ugh. It's like, hey, right, y'all do it. We're the only motherfucker in this world, the 80s, bro. It was people before them. What are you talking about? Hella grip older females. You know, one of my biggest pet peeves was these white people popping up, right? It's sort of like that old school picture and shit of them cats from Africa holding those dark skinned babies and them blonde haired people and the light skinned people in the background all chopped the fuck up and shit. Dead and chopped the fuck up. And they look like the same people that's over there up in Libya and shit. And people want to go the royal way, right? And then you got more. Hey, how you doing? We from another place. We don't give a fuck. Destruction of black civilization. Don't give a fuck what color your skin is. We in it for the war. That's the story of 300 and people was whooping, talking about thousands of years being like one thing. And it was like, it's understandable that you're a youth. You were taught this way and all this other shit. Same shit in life, but just different technology. That's it. Hey, here's a house. Hey, here's a teepee. Here's a wooden house. You know, that's that, right? Hey, I paid for it. Then number two off of that shit, trying to go ahead and bombard and kick somebody off when I shouldn't have been there in the first place. But for some reason, hey, we got some connection or cahoots, but we gonna put you in the mix as if it's something I spend no money out there in Africa. If it wasn't out there to utilize, it wasn't getting used. You ain't got no motherfucking logical ass degree or scienter. Talking stupid. Won't you stop clowning? Get your shit straight. Man. It was sulfur fields and shit, and I was like, man, put some dookie in it. Doodle was soap. Go figure. So basically, and on the spirit box and shit. So how I recorded it, I had this recorder I got off the Android thing. It was like $5 and shit. I think it was called like Gen 40. It's a 4-track recorder, and it's a dog. It's a pretty good dog, right? glad I invested. And I went and I recorded myself counting one, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I had made up some song or parody. Then I was saying this and that, and this and that, and I recorded on each four of the tracks. And then, because the reason it had 44, 24, 44, 11, 44, 22, 11, and 8 kilohertz settings. So I did that to all that. I added some effects to it to make it sound weird and stuff. Set the faders up and down. Then I put it to 8 kilohertz. And it has white noise in the background, and it sounds like. And for me saying these words and placing it all in 8 kilohertz, for some reason, I can hear the amulet from Canada in the background. And it keeps on playing in a loop the shit that happened in January 15th, 1985. The same as people who was involved seem to be the same ass motherfuckers manipulating idiots. Hold on, hey y'all, majority of you want to be alone? I was like, hey, where y'all motherfuckers? They was alone, all right. So that's how I did it. It kilohertz. So that's what it was and stuff. I mean, it's a pretty good dog. I like the dog, because it's a dog, right? You know, I don't know if it's like the microphone or something, but it just for some reason, the reason I went with like FL is because it just sounded like it was feeding in the background, and I would record something, and when I try to edit it, it sounds like somebody's literally in the background talking about my mix. I didn't invite you into this mix. Walking down the street, I'm recording, and it sounds like I hear somebody in the background. And the way they're talking like, "Oh, you give me permission to use this shit. We on the radio with it." That's why I didn't. That's why I'm not using it now. So I don't know if it was something wrong with the DAW. It's my criticism. It's pretty good. It's a good DAW. I mean, 4-track recorder. Then if you pay more, you probably get like 32 tracks and shit. But if somehow it's like, hey, here goes a cookie, and I got an app on that motherfucker that makes me hear it in my studio, I don't want that app. I don't want that. I don't want you in my business. I'm leasing it. Get out of my business. Get my privacy. I do not agree to letting you use any of my shit, right? That's just how I feel about this stuff. But the reason I like it is because the 8 kilohertz and shit. It's just, it has all kinds of other stuff. Good practice for a beginner. Audio recording. Hope nobody else has to go through that, right? Shit. But I don't know what it was and shit. But then it's kind of weird because feedback always helps, right? So I had this Pinnacle studio thing, and I was on there, and I'll be recording, and then I'll take the audio and I'll try to edit it so I can hear the background. And if I edit it to the point to where I can't hear nothing, I got the highs and lows at the perfect point, it sort of acts as an amplifier. And then when it acts as an amplifier, like I was listening to the Cthulhu thing, and in the background they were talking shit. Then I had recorded it on the sound recorder. I wasn't planning on distributing it to anybody or whatever. I just wanted to hear more what they were talking about in the back. So I was going to try to bring the person who was speaking down, and then in the background, with some reason for this suit, it just leaves this echo in the background. And then next thing you know, I go back to the YouTube and I go to listen to it, and for some reason it is echoey in the background as if somebody hacked my shit, used my suit to edit it, and then put it up there. So now you don't hear no person in the background, you don't hear them talking shit, you don't hear none of it, you just hear some echo, and it just sounds like a terrible ass recording. But then other people do the recording, and then they start talking that shit in the background. Like, who knows who did this? Blah, blah, blah. It sounds better with me saying it anyways, if you ask me. and shit. It was weird and stuff. They had me put in jail and shit. And they had finished their little verses, and it was just like the Thos tablet, no lie, right? Here's some interesting stuff, some stuff you need to know, and then somebody took it away, and now we talking about sex. Ugh, ugh. Oh yeah, that's how you get it. You know what the truth like. Oh yeah, exactly like the Thos tablets. If you hear somebody read it, right? It's, you might as well compare it to. Okay, this is interesting, right? This is some stuff we want to up sex. Hey, got this. And it's talking about some bullshit. Hey, this is a journal for you. I was like, no, motherfucker, I was actually writing this. Not just some bullshit. It was kind of odd, right? So I just got out of jail, and he puts the expert, he puts the talk on there, and he says something about the Eldridge, right, on where they got my stuff from. And then he pops in, and I'm sitting there, and I start writing, and then he comes in, and he assaults me. He taps me, or James Twist assaults me and taps me in my nose, giving me a lobotomy. Oh, you don't have that mind no more. You can't do it. And I continue, and he taps me again. I didn't like them motherfuckers, period. And shit, they never was there. And when they was there, they was greedy and wanted some shit. And when they didn't get it, they ain't there. And when they wanted some other shit, they'll pop the fuck up and they ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just some weird shit. They want to claim like some witness protection against fuck who? They want to be like you was the one. It's like that's irrelevant, and you would be the only people here because everybody else would be dead. And then we can look at your paperwork. Then the big brother pops in out of nowhere. Hey, yo, this is for you, this is for me. As if he was the one in the 40s or the 20s who pushed old uncle down the steps. Probably was ahead of the man we did. Trying to get his, even though he had lost his own work to the somebody else must have came and taken it. Have you guys ever had your brains blew the fuck out? I mean, it's easy to talk about it and say it. Hey, you know, being young, you're healing. It's like, hey, I got a good chance of probably fucking bouncing back from this and not even remembering it. Hey, you adults, you put shit for the people you want. Hey, these are the people I predict in grade school or high school is gonna be like this. They don't end up like that, but you got that shit passed. Now, if it happens to you, you have to worry about going through your system. Wow, hold up, girl, I wrote this. Don't grab it like that. Slammed you. That's what they said on this piece of paper that somehow your name matches the person who wrote this back in 1985. And people, that's another reason why people try to prevent themselves from doing certain things, right? Yeah, well, this one person we're on is going to be there, and then one person ain't there, and then all these complaints, and somehow they're going to try to blame me. And it was like we kept him out of the loop, but he's the cause and the problem of it. I was like, actually, I didn't touch it, and it wasn't moving. And people stole it and said we did this, but the government already denied me on the Arizona health care and the Aaron's health care unless it was private, and also on all kinds of other shit with federal on it unless it was private. And I had to go private with it on the sole proprietorship. that same tip, but some people is like, we just got out the penitentiary on some fraud shit, and now we're at the bank talking about loans and mortgages. But look at how much money we got back. Ugh. And then the sticklers pop in, acting like these people from the government, and then hey, and somehow they sneak in and leave it there. Well, you did. I didn't do this shit, but since it's here, and they go ahead and try to prove a point to somebody. Hey, I'm gonna let it go because blah blah blah. Because you caught me at a bingo party and shit, and after I made it up in this goddamn book, somehow, hey. And the reason the book was so ironic and was filled with so much irony is ridiculous, right? And it's like you're actually watching me constitutionally, unconstitutionally talk shit and clowning in the 80s and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this shit ain't illegal. You ain't got no right to be there and do this shit. It seems like some person from another place that killed three, four people, and now he's standing there and they think as long as you're on this place, I can. This shit is ridiculous, yo. I don't think you really get the whole situation. The whole situation went upgrading to HD. Let's say we upgraded to HD, and for some reason the people was assholes and did not want to upgrade. They wanted to keep boycotting shit, right? And it was like, hey, well, all this stuff is being televised on these type of TV sets in HD because that's what everybody wanted. And then it was like, no, and it was like a week, boom, of recording, makeup, and everything. And then all this shit was happening. And they made all these trumped up charges on me and shit. And it was like, hey, this is my money. I'm young. I don't file taxes. You can't get me for this. Ain't no embezzlement. Ain't none. This is my money, right? And then these other people, they would see this book and they liked it because in this book, I divvied them all up with this money, right? And there's no money there. It's just a book. And now they're trying to use the book as like a promissory note and shit. So they're trying to say boom, boom, boom. And most of this political stuff was made up in the 80s. You heard a couple of these people say that this is still the 80s. It's what you don't get, right? This stuff was televised years ago, and now they're barely found it, and it's like, oh. And then most of them is locked up in a penitentiary and shit and doing federal time, claiming to be these people and these names, and all this shit is made up, right? Well, then let's say, hey, we didn't know it was made up. We went to school and we became a judge. And hey, this is what I'm going with my friend here. But we didn't know that the friend ain't you and is from another country and is illegally here, but got enough good friends to be kicking it, huh? Huh? Go to another country and act a damn fool, and it's like, how can you get away with that shit? Because I'm still from this country. Yeah, this shit is kind of odd. This shit is weird. It's all from this book. Pay people to have people out. And it was like, hey, because originally I had beta tested in the armed forces with the TVs and the computers and shit, and beta tested in the penitentiary. Those was the cheapest places I got to find. And if you really think about it, if all this political stuff, the law and stuff is going down, you still retain your job. I mean, the penitentiary and the armed forces is the only place that really need to know this stuff in the first place. Everybody else will just hit it up with propaganda and start trying to burn people at the stake as soon as somebody calls them a witch and witch hunts is back. There's all kinds of crazy people up there trying to be this and that, and it was weird. I could sit there and make up a name out the goddamn blue, and the next thing you know, I'm sitting there watching TV that's supposed to be serious, and that exact same name pops up as some Indian man, you know, and people start believing in that shit, like, hey, this is real. And it's like it's a bunch of people that's bored and got nothing else to do, having fucking fun at y'all expenses. And most of them is in jail for that exact same reason. And number two, to the black people, I don't know what the fuck you think this is and shit. I am not your fucking slave and shit. You like to intertwine with people you like so you could go ahead and kick it and get it how you want it, but then once they get what they want, which is your shit, and kick you out, you don't like it. They get taught since they're kids at that. While you like to kick yours out and tell them I ain't gonna teach you shit. And then these other people pop in. We've been taught since infancy. It's stuck right now. You ain't got no education. You can't get a job. Hey, these people from over here, you gonna get jobs, education, and board and everything. Your own people, you kick the fuck out and dog the fuck out and all this other shit. But hey, other people that seem to be with this old other front and stuff seem to be cool as hell. You don't do background checks on the people that's working. It's like, oh, I didn't know you was royalty for another country. We wouldn't have hired you. Well, you did, and I got this contract. But he was white at the time, so we had to pick white, and he was the only white person there. Ugh. Back to that old picture. There's one black man thinking the white folks gonna help him out. There, hey, no more black. You don't understand why we here though, man. Ugh. We was slaves for real, not anymore. Mm-hmm. Right, but a lot of that shit could have been faked in the first place, right? Because it's been pirated, right? People would pirate his stuff and clown and stuff, and I was like, shit, we could turn this into some real networks and keep it going. And then people wouldn't want to do union, and then they wanted to try to vote me out and all this other shit. And it was like I found out that y'all do not qualify, but y'all keep on popping up anyways with your opinions. And those are the ones that like to talk shit and talk shit and talk shit. Like, do your fucking job, you know. They trade between places. I noticed there's Caligari on there. What the fuck? Heard the U.S. and Canada got some parallel issues, huh? Well, in this book, they would loved it because this book it basically states, hey, uh, oh yeah, the U.S. was more lenient, and it didn't matter if you did not know or did not or not from the states or the country, you still got the right to vote and do all this other shit. And if you notice right now, it's like I'm looking at here, and it was like, yeah, you don't have pros, you could only do appeals and shit. And it was like, hey, on this front page it says turn an F6 to an M1, and the sick motherfuckers in the world, and they're looking at me as if I was a sick motherfucker and shit. And I'm noticing all this shit, right? And I got to start complaining about it, then all of a sudden start switching back to the normal way it was. Like, you ain't got no right to do this shit. You ain't got no right to fucking do this whatsoever. If I ain't mistaken and do remember correctly, a lot of the judges was locked up in a penitentiary for some shit, still retain their jobs. Well, let's say that these people set them up, right? As you notice, it was like it's kind of weird that you're telling me that all these people that could be good in the political office and everything somehow got set up by some foreign people and put in jail for a couple of years, and now these same foreign people got people acting like them and in their places and all this other shit using a book or my journal or my diary, my private shit. Red hair freckle people and shit, you know. You know, babysitter, sitting in a high chair. Right, but he could have been a newscaster, right? It's like, hey, something different, obviously. And he stuck with it. That's cool, shit. And then it's kind of fucked up. I got why it was tripping, right? And it's like, oh yeah, because I was like, hey, would you like to do this? You have to wait until it happens and they get the money. Once this pops in, then it goes down and they tripped. Oh, we took your shit, burnt your shit, ripped the running shirt with the blood stain, blah 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 blah. Then you go and check that shit present day, and it's like I told your ass in the past. How the fuck can I get my life back, right? A guarantee, right? You need to check the indemnity first, huh? What would you want? You got $1,200 each one. Don't have to pay taxes until 18. Look at all that fraud. Then number two, yeah, I created that too after I did the federal system because, hey, calculus and all that good stuff, hey, um, you count big increments and shit, right? No, this fraudulent shit didn't happen, so I wouldn't try to sell the government. Said no, you do shit privately though. I ain't this shit. They abused, knocked me out, made me forget. Hell yeah, it's just government. We'll put you in jail, federal crime. We got the right to take you to jail, court, and prosecute you for this. And then other people from other places, well, as long as I'm here and shit, and it says federal, I could do this. Take your Esquire ass back to where you was. Hey, and then that other stuff right there. Look at that. It stopped at me. I won. I did all this stuff. It stopped. Somehow they're like, hey, that's his rights. I'm white. I want to use it. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I know you're sitting right there and I know what you are. Hey, and I'm white. We're going to use that. He's like, yeah, but I'm not white. I don't care to help y'all out. If I ain't mistaken, it's like, hey, nope, nope, die then. Being lazy, like we got our own money, but we won't invest into that shit. And I invest into it, and it's like, this is ours. Hopefully they stick into the contracts and they like still paying me my money and stuff. And he was like, we sure did. And it's embezzlement, it's fraud, right? Like going to the police and they could play games and shit like we was in Canada. Hey, I'm gonna violate your First Amendment, your right, everything. This is another place, totally different. It's like, hey, I got the right not to be bothered, harassed, stalked, or any of that shit. But hey, got a reversal crack and we're investigating him. He's gonna do something like last week's when he didn't do nothing. Then we start yelling and he start yelling back, but we don't hear us. Shield, but we hear you. Minding my motherfucking business and these motherfucking ugly ass ducks just, somebody taught me wrong. And in the background, something about naked. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he was from Africa and shit. Do you notice they used to bottle those awards in South Africa back in the 70s? And then once you teach some idiots that this is a blessing, you have people that been out here chilling and they go back, hey, telling people what they want, and then them people pop up, hey, You think exotic, this is what you want, but it's weird, right? You don't want to sit there, you don't want to drink it, and he's like, why? Must be dookie. Okay. Once you go to another country and think what it ain't, it must be dookie too. No matter how beautiful it looks, you can get a green screen and some glasses and sit there with enough lights and go and get some regular faucet water about the bathroom, and that's all you getting, right? Treat it, put it through a filtration machine. Drink it, sit there, make your fruit drink. It's gonna smell like piss too. It's gonna smell like dookie too. That's it. That's all. That was it. It was like, hey, wow, we got all this shit over here. We're gonna recycle it. Still start with their own people. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, this is all we got. People that don't know Papa start eating it. A perfect chefs with the right seasoning. But you don't have that aftertaste of dookie and shit, right? You ain't allowed to adulterate food, right? You get a fast food job, but any you got to get it served safe, right? Right, because you're poisoning people when you put other shit that ain't in there. Hey, this is soda, this is food coloring, sugar, or that crystallized stuff, and and that's it. Then it's supposed to mix in with this water, and that's it. Then it's like, I taste the loogie, I taste this and that, and before you was even there working, same shit, it was there. And you get a job and you start working and you think you're the shit. And this is the whole purpose. It doesn't really matter how long you've been there or whatever the fuck. If you get fired, there's another person that's gonna get hired and act exactly like you in about a couple of more months or weeks. You know what? It's like when I used to work there. Oh, we used to work at like a retail place and shit. On there was a square, right? You have to. There's this rulage. You check this off. This is your to-do list, right? And you have to be like, yes sir, yes ma'am. This is customer service. That's why it's a job corp, retail sales, all this shit, right? And I'm doing this stuff, boom. And I request my raise. I get my raise, boom. And these people keep on walking in. Oh, come on, brother. This is slave stuff right here. What do I do? And I was like, you must work in retail because you know this bullshit, right? If you don't, you can't be bitching about a raise or nothing because you think, oh, peace, love, this brother, all this other shit. And then me, I used to kick it with some light tone people, and then it come from the wrong people, though, right? It's like you see me here, I'm working. This is part of my job. Hey, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to impress my pockets. This is not a personal tip. I'm lonely. I'm gonna put my personal product out of my own body on it. Ooh. Went and got a pack of zigzags and shit, and they were all stuck together. I had to go get another pack of zigzags. It's like you can't go and get no more fountain drinks unless you want to smell like Dookie. And then the worst part is when you got people that's saying that they're undercover. It was like I'm walking down the street, right? They talking shit, whatever. I'm trying to find where they at. As a youth, I used to visit this place before this bigger place popped up. Regular food, you know how it go. Walk in there now, they got undercovers all around, and inside it's a whole bunch of piss. Do you know what gratuitary is or gratuitary is? Gratuity, that stuff, it's another crime that people see as not, this is an officer that's has a job but expects to get like you work over there at the store as a security and you think you can get free sodas all day. You basically stealing from the store. And you walk in there and everything smells like piss, as if they was like, this is ours. It's like, you got a job, pay for your soda. Hell, you got a job within a job, pay for your soda and the products you eat. You know, you know what? And I didn't do it for that or them because obviously you don't want to go out there and eat some food without the Montezuma. Then they pop up out here and say this is their heritage and culture and all this bullshit. I'm black. And it wasn't they food and heritage before the 80s. You notice now on the TV, it's like since 1983, we stole it from this Negro. And then we have all these kids out the blue and sprawled, and then we'll tell them this is their heritage. And growing up as a juvenile with the amnesia, you can't eat them corn chips. That belongs to us. You can't eat that food. This is Mexican food. This belongs to us. And what was Mexican food? It was beans eaten, father shit it out, and here's some vodka to take the shit taste out. Huh? This is like music. Hey, intellectual property. I'll just put my name on it and it's mine. Hey, hey, 71. Now we got it at 28 for that one individual. And then somebody's opinion. And when you took a puff, look, at I'm not asking for your opinion in the first fucking place because I know who the fuck you are. Somebody invited you, I didn't. Hey, number two, who paid you? It was a bribe. I couldn't be in Canada and shit. All this copyright infringement and shit. Yeah, I've been at the parliament too. I won because I was kidnapped. They just walked out. While the other time we seen the walkout is when the blonde haired person was sitting there and talking about, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. Right, right. Here goes the test. All right, this guy is walking with this kid. Hey, that kid is flying. Who is that person right there? Boom. Why the fuck is you working here with anything when it comes to that invisible person? You don't see it. Ugh. He's here, tax his ass. Hey, she, he, whatever the fuck it is. Don't even know, right? Could be a female, blonde hair, looking like a guy, dude. All of a sudden, we got the gay agenda cracking. Boom. Hey, they popped in back in the days, Bruce Moose and the Goose. Now everything's homo, homo, swinger, homo. Hey, I never put out maybe Prop 206, never for gay marriage. In the book, I put if they chose it, then it would be. It was sexual harassment. They was just got out the penitentiary. I figured I was like, I like the females. The females seem to be the lesbians or no. And then hold on, this big ass conundrum pops up. We don't want you to go nowhere. We want you to be right there. Now fuck that. We want you to be homeless and all this shit. I was good in my own place, and all these people is like, we're working. That's irrelevant. They shut down. I put a contract there, and all of a sudden you sign a contract, and now you breaking laws like, hey, I'm gonna violate your first, second, third, fifth, sixth, all the way goddamn down. Ugh. And this piece of paper from this fraudulent court said I could do it. It's like, hey, I wish I could find out how they did that stuff. I'll just go and download the paperwork. Hey, it's court. Ugh. Send it in. Hey. Wow, let me see the Cthulhu voice being held hostage. Me turning my black self into a white person on the flick. Being shot in the ass by pellets on June the 7th as somebody scraped my shit and then took a pack of cigarettes from a second recording and put it there in the first recording. And they're all Canadian. Ugh. We're claiming South African. Ugh. Saying that I gave them the right to do this shit. In this book, you said this, that, and all this other shit. Hey, I didn't give you permission to use any of this shit. You ain't even a fucking citizen. Let me see your social security and birth certificate. And hold on, present day, check the statutes. It's still illegal to give somebody any type of formal anything without the legal documentations as it was in the 80s. Treason to the state, of course. This ain't your motherfucking place. We don't need you changing shit. Take your motherfucking ass home. Right. Prostitution is illegal, right? I'll be hearing some ill ass shit. They yelling towards me, oh, you walking butt naked for that one. Ain't out here. Hey, we all from Come girl. Come on, girl. I don't give a fuck. I ain't out there. I don't care. Walking over here by this park and somebody decided to think it was cute not to douche, but squirt on the ground as if that smells beautiful. And then it's weird. The same people that do this shit in other countries. Hey, we out here cool, huh? Ain't even from this country, huh? Foreigners, hey, we ain't from this country, but we white, Smell a lot of raw blood. It's not period blood. A whole bunch of raw blood in the sewer, a bunch of cannibals and shit, right? Oh, somebody taking that fake CBD something and got a lot of blood in their system or something. And when they clean their toilet, hear that fiberglass of that glass falling through, shitting out blood. You smell strong smells of blood. See more Canadians acting homeless. Notice houses that been occupied for years and these people ain't going nowhere. Here comes new people. They there. Oh, oh. Start seeing English people pop up. Somebody's trying to use me and say, hey, we could help you out. Hey, you guys had me kidnapped. We will not help your ass out. Y'all did it on your own personal tip to try to keep money. Then take your ass back and spend your money back where it's supposed to be spent. There. If you fix that shit up, y'all blew up. I was a kid when others gave up some booty. It was a boarding school. I don't know where from. Plus, there was nothing I could handle. There's always this. Guess who taught them? Hey, hey, we was used to be federal agents, but we ain't. And now we a fiduciary. Nope, 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 nope. Uh oh. Uh oh. That's that one that is. Wouldn't give. Those are still the illegal people, and somehow they disrespected and discarded all the 80 shit. Hired some fake company and they rewrote the shit. Hey, yeah, what happened to this one guy? Well, that's me. Why would I put me up in there? It's a fixed system. It never goes anywhere. Hold on, here's the worst one. Hey, after 7 years, felony drops. Now, Aaron turned 18, 19. We want the felony to stick. You got to gamble at 21. You should drink at 21. At this particular moment, from 15 up, Hey, we got the badges. We'll put the parents in jail for giving them drugs and all this shit. Hey, kids, here goes a whole bunch of ecstasy. I'll shoot you if you don't. Boom. Hey, lesbians. Hey, homosexuals. You have to hook up with her. She has to hook up with him. And this is all for a reason. You don't understand that shit. Let me say what the reason is for. Cognitive dissonance. Probably the correct word. Every every reaction is a negative or positive reaction. Hey, positive reaction. Hey, lesbian, homosexual, we got to hook up. Hey, we had beautiful kids. We stuck together. I'm a virgin, didn't know nothing about this. Somebody manipulated me. Now I got some poo poo boom or some dig dig boom. Good thing, worst thing. I'm true lesbian. I'm true died. Kids died. Insurance company. Hey, quotas. Hey, we know you did it because this is what we taught you to do. Like being in court and there's a bunch of kids that don't know nothing, but some older person that's blonde hair, white, ain't supposed to be here or acting FBI, talking about we taught them this, so that's what they'll be about. And then they kept grooming them, and it seems like, and me is a no. As in, I say no, and they say, hey, these are my good friends here. We cool, huh? I was like, y'all don't get that gap, do you? It's like, we ain't cool here, but everything else seemed to be a couple of years older or shorter. But older, right? Hey, 50s, but I look, I still can still pass. Let me see, grade school. I was a whole bunch of undercover cops, old ass people acting like cops, people that already graduated, and about 4 or 5 students actually. And then once the 4 or 5 students get kicked out for whatever reason, and shit that I was told is, I don't want you to graduate high school. We got you kicked out because I don't want you to graduate high school or graduate school. Didn't do shit, got set up. Oh, you did something. Teacher slaps me, puts me, kicks me out. Oh, it happens in the ninth grade. Oh, same shit. Graduated already. Undercover officers. We're picking who gets graduate, who don't. This is not your job. You ain't even supposed to be here. Hey, you're supposed to be in some frat party, get tossed around. Why'd you toss me around? Because you kicked out my son and you kicked out my little brother, who we beat up and told you better get an education. Yeah, we were hoping that you killed them so we could bust you two for what y'all did to him. Tired of that shit. The same person told you to do it. Was like, right, I mean, it's irrelevant, right? When people come from Canada, fill out the foreign paperwork. Hey, do it for a year, boom. Putting options down. You can, hey, yeah, well, we do this in Canada. We violate all these rights. Yeah, hey, reversal, yeah. We're going to have to act like gang members in order to do it. And then it's like, well, if y'all acting like gang members and ain't no more gang members, then who still commits the crimes? Because the first gang members was cops and undercovers. This must be the white part that was on the march when they built the statue, and here's the plain clothes and the people in uniform, and now they got a whole multitude of people who was held verbal agreements since before 14, before I was even 15. Ugh. I ain't investing in your motherfucking shit, bitch. Go back to the pension. Did you hear that shit? It means shit to me. Let me see. I took this. I'm sitting here chilling. Next thing you know, the pepper gets hot, starts burning the ass. Before that, these people that pop up claim to be refugees is like, hey, don't be peppering out. Hey, as an infant, I get sucked up by this MSN, and all of a sudden, to incubate, and we got all this Jamaican bullshit when y'all need to be on the homo island. Ugh. what the kids say, oh, we don't want you no more. Who's behind them adults? What they got them thinking, oh yeah, they belongs to them. Do I plan on dying? Then hey, your rate of life is short. Once they get the money up, and it'll be another stank that nobody sees because we don't like how they are. But who taught them to be that way? I don't know. It'd probably be a psychologist sitting there like, let me check the books again. I could say whatever I want. I'm like, ugh. Next, I'm giving your honest opinion. Now you could say whatever you want and all this other shit because I didn't accreditate that. And then this is the type of shit, right? So they said, hey, we gave you a 7-year degree and you're only a couple months old. Oh, couple years old. Oh, we don't want you to get your own financial aid or none of that. I did not want to help you and pay for financial aid. I wrote the books and built the schools up. What's going down? Hey, like I said, I paid 10 G's to get them people through there. So if they die, it would be a federal crime or some shit like they told me. That was it after training. Hey, I wouldn't hire them for shit. Hey, we in a deep pack. We don't want you. I ain't got to look after y'all. You got some federal. Man, let me get on. Oh no. See, the problem would be is, hey, you're older than them, but we end up kicking it with them and teaching them some shit, and we never taught you that. We went past you and taught them, and they with us, and we like, we want you gone. And it was like, man, you was older than me. What the fuck is you doing with them? Now I can understand. Hey, I'm over 30. Hey, that's royalty over there with the Bears. Those are those royal symbols. Hey, they're in debt. And it's weird. It's like, hey, we gonna start it because I know when the uniform report thing was cracking, the people who was doing it, causing the crime and doing all that shit was the same people that when you call pop up saying they are. Then the fucking shit that's countering, hey, if they're doing that shit, then we're over here saying we cops. Reversal, yelling towards Aaron. That you would have to commit a crime to do that in this book. And then this would turn into what's that video game where they got a fence around the whole damn place? Hey, I was about to transfer. Don't nobody want that bullshit. We send our bullshit to you. You don't send your bullshit to us. Your bullshit ain't welcome here after you done taught them how to mess up shit. And some shit that happens serially over here in New York and they transfer over here. Next thing you know, it starts happening over here. But they ain't tripping on it over there because it's legal there somehow. But over here, it's like illegal. If you have a multitude of transfer New York cops, it's gonna look like it's legal. Hey, beat you with a quarter-inch belt, Super Bowl commercial. Just touched down from Cali. I don't see there's a problem. Hey, here on my case, hey, something's going down here, I need an officer over here. Hey, I'll get you in touch with a sergeant, busy signal. Doo 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 doo. Moaning. Then we get drugged off of ecstasies and shit. Ugh. I never experienced this drug as an adult or a juvenile, but growing up with the Wardies, they all experienced it. As if they were trying to get a mixer, so when people popped up, they used to bottle warts in a fake place because they wanted to learn karate. Ugh. Then you think about that Jacob's Ladder movie of BZ and Agent Orange shit, what the U.S. did. Who the fuck really dropped the bombs over there? You sure it ain't somebody they doing this shit to? And it's like, hey, but unlike him, I got the bomb. Because in every country you end up having that genocides. Hey, these are our people. We can kill them. Until you find out in the future if you don't have enough people because you think once you learn how to murder with the kata boom, just murder people and not even worry about it, right? It's like, hey, every person matters. And you're that one person that's from these people and you're killing off these people. And these other people is like, once he gets done doing that, we'll just shoot him in the back of the head and pop in. Hey, he gave us permission, killed himself. Then it's like for some money, and it was like, hey, here's $1,000 bill. I had to put the owl on it. Well, what got them locked up in the penitentiary wasn't no political shit. That's what they wrote about. It's because they are agents, federal agents, policemen, and all this other stuff, and they decided to be undercover working and act like the biggest drug ring and get $1,000 bills put out there. But see, what they really wanted was, boom, and that's what got them locked up in jail. Basically, it's violating rights and shit. Most of them don't have jurisdiction in the first fucking place. I was like, okay, that small town right there that's looking for people to help them with some money. What the fuck is y'all coming over here out of bounds doing crimes and shit? I was like, it was literally quiet. And then Aaron walked outside and then somebody just started yelling towards him. And it was all right because we know who this person is. Must be a whore. Then it flipped the script. May the 23rd shot a whore in the eye, but she just became a cop. Hey, undercover, butt naked. Hey, this is my uniform. I hope you are publicly indecent. Worse or time, please. Hey, if we can't sag, don't be wearing the booty shorts. There's nothing wrong with sagging it. Go ahead and do that. I'm sagging unless my pants is too tight and it's like it's uncomfortable around my waist. You know, I'll sag a little bit, but not crack just enough to loosen up the strings. And that would be assault, abuse. Have been sleeping in your apartment or your place, and somebody leaves the door open, and then by the time you wake up, somehow they know, and they close the door, and nobody says nothing about it. But at the same time, they're saying that I'm paying them to do shit like this. Like we have Sainter, but we'll just act stupid. It's like this is a kid. You had money, then there'd be no bitching and complaining about it, right? Like, and we are gonna do that, huh? We are. And it's like, hey, that's cool. I work for you now. I don't want you at my house. Invite you to my house and all that stuff. Never went to your house. Got kidnapped there, bro. about our sexapades up in the under Torres Park, New York. Is the people who live there, the show buddy. I wouldn't put no money in there with them. Southern Climb. Southern Taxi. Right, and the problem with the pensions is, hey, thank you for paying me half of your paycheck or some of your paycheck, and if I choose not to give you it, you don't get it. Pay me back. Obviously, you don't see me with it. You notice how weird and lucrative that is. How they say, "Oh, we were gonna really starve and dead." He was like, "So all this helping you don't ain't needed and shit." It's not my obligation. Like, you never got any help, but for some reason, man, after I do this for somebody else, huh? What they really wanted was, ain't nothing here, boom. Got me a field, boom. Come on, kids. Let me show you something fun. And then think how, well, hold up, boy, oh, nah. Schools would have been shut down. Wait, what none? Teachers was like, hey, you want to go get taught? Come to Caligari. 5% jumped in. You know, the undercovers acting like the 5% and shit. Jumped in, pow. We'll do homeschooling. All this other shit. I remember my first businesses that I started, boom. I thought the 5% could handle it, and they try to bombard me. It was like, this is sole proprietorship. I'm hiring you as a fucking manager. That's it. And they'll be like, oh, no, this ain't no manager. This ain't nothing. You did a partnership, and we gonna write you out. I wouldn't do no partnership. It read good to get to the sole proprietorship. Ugh. Then come to find out that, damn, after that whole little time travel and shit, they took the audio out. Those are crimes. We just got done coming from boot camp. And all those pictures got tossed up and we called up the central. And hey, and here's white laughter. Hey, 'cause everybody else, hey, you're out. I'm like, hey, y'all been out. What the fuck is you doing in line? Take your used to be male ass on. the Anrian monkeys are